Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to Sister Wives with Mary Jane K. Today, I'll be giving my commentary on Sister Wives, Season 17, Episode 15, Part 1 of the One-on-One Special. I want to wish everyone a safe and happy holiday. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Festivus, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy New Year, and anything else anyone may celebrate this holiday season. Be happy, be merry, be safe, and enjoy it. We're going to get right into it. Cody says in this episode that he fears nothing but poverty. I fear nothing but poverty. That's what he said. To me, it seems as if Cody fears a lot. He fears independent women, COVID. He was supposedly so afraid of COVID that he refused to attend his daughter's surgery. He fears nothing but poverty, but he also can't do a low bedside reading lamp, tight spaces, sex unless it's negotiated. He fears nothing but poverty, but God help him keep safe from an independent woman with a voice. He fears poverty, but the prefab McMansion he lives in was paid for mostly off of the backs of his now ex-wives Janelle and Mary. He obviously doesn't fear living off of other people, just as long as he doesn't have to do the work himself to keep the poverty at bay. Cody also fears the man Christine will marry next, who he assumes will use Christine to go after him and steal his coins. He also fears the state of Utah as well. He says it's because he got egg on their face. But I think Cody knows he was the boy who cried wolf for a storyline, and now the state of Utah wouldn't hesitate to go after him financially on Christine's behalf if she wanted. Remember when Cody wanted to work out a custody agreement with Christine and he lied to her and said they had to have an agreement set or Truly would become property of the state and they would need to involve lawyers when he wanted to use Truly as a bargaining chip with Christine. When they were figuring things out financially since she was moving and Cody was scared Christine would take more than he felt she deserved. And so Christine suggested, I'm moving to Utah, so shouldn't the custody agreement be in Utah since Truly will be living there? And Cody was angry. He looked scared and intimidated when Christine mentioned Utah. And he said, no, we are not doing anything in Utah. Nothing with the state of Utah. And he sounded threatened. So Cody seems to fear Utah too. Another thing that struck me was when Cody mocked his wives, mimicking a dog, panting with eagerness, salivating, chomping at the bit, begging to marry him, begging to be a part of his family. It was beyond demeaning. This is not the first time Cody disrespected his ex-wives, debasing them as if they were dogs, as if they were less than. That's not fair to his ex-wives, and it's not fair to dogs either. There was the time Cody whistled at his wives to get them walking on when they spent far too long talking to the surveyor, asking him intelligent questions. Cody was pissed that day. He was impatient. He wanted to get a move on. So he whistled at his one wife and ex-wives as if they were dogs. The whistle was a command for them to obey, to get moving. It's insulting to dogs. It's insulting to women. It's incredibly condescending and demoralizing for his wife and ex-wives as well. Cody doubled down on the patriarchy bullshit this episode. He seems to think his wives begged to marry him. They begged to join the family. They were salivating, drooling at the mouth, begging Cody to be with him, to be in the family. That's Cody's perspective of Janelle and Christine entering the family. And he let them know, if you want into my family, my will run into yours. This is a patriarchy. And they all agreed. They all signed off on this decades ago. Before they married Cody, he told them he expected a patriarchy for his will to run into theirs. And they said, yeah, sure, of course. Please pick me, choose me, love me. I don't mind to let you control me. I want to submit. I want to kiss your ass all day. I want to communicate with and take orders from the human equivalent of a wall. And now, all of a sudden, it's not that Cody changed the terms in his perspective. It's that the wives are too independent. They're too willful. They're too inquisitive. They're too inconvenient. That's Cody's delusional perception of this. We also learn that Mary is free now, and it turns out she noticed when Cody said he no longer considers himself married to Mary. And Mary didn't want this, but Cody stating that made the decision for her. So she is gone, but for her, the nails aren't quite completely hammered in the coffin yet. She would be open to reconciling with Cody, but she doesn't think Cody will ever be. I think one day Mary will realize this is the best thing that ever happened to her. And I really hope she finds a guy, if she wants to, who sees her and who can appreciate her as she is, who will respect her and see her value and her worth and reciprocate. Because the way Cody treats Mary and the way he spoke of her all the time was cruel and mean. And Mary, despite the cruelty, despite everything, for reasons we can never understand, stayed with Cody despite everything. And it may have been for spiritual reasons and the afterlife thing. We don't know. But Cody keeps saying he wants loyalty, and Mary was loyal. Mary was loyal, and Cody was a coward. Instead of just behind the scenes telling Mary, I can't do this, I'm sorry, I know for me there is nothing there, I respect you as the mother of my kid, I respect our history, I know I let you down, I know this started with me abandoning you, and I wasn't there for you, and I invalidated you, and you were also difficult, but I've been cruel, and I can't be with you, I can't work on it. And if they broke up and if he let her go without all of this toxicity and cruelty and abuse, especially knowing that she may have stayed partially because of her religious beliefs, he instead chose to be very cruel over and over and over to Mary. And maybe Mary is no angel, but she didn't deserve all the cruelty. And rather than Cody being a man and telling Mary it's done and going public to take the heat off of her, he was cruel on camera, and then off camera, Mary tried for anniversaries and stuff, and Cody rejected her, asking why she was even calling him. He said they weren't even acting as married, and Mary had to really find out she had no choice but to leave from Cody on the show saying he no longer considers himself married to her. That must have felt like betrayal to Mary. Mary wanted to tell the public that they were done, and Cody refused. He didn't want it out publicly. He didn't want the flack. So instead, he told Mary, don't call me on our anniversary. We aren't married. We aren't announcing it publicly. I don't want the negativity on me. He was willing to be cruel to Mary on camera, knowing Mary knew he was done. And she wanted to announce it, and Cody refused. He didn't want the backlash on him. He didn't want it known. He forced Mary out, and he ended it. And rather than talk to Mary and end it, he did not want it known. And instead, on the show, he said, I don't consider myself married to Mary. And then Mary had no choice but to go. That's the type of coward Cody is. That's his level of consciousness and his moral compass. Cody lies over and over again. He lies to himself. He lies to the viewers. He lies to his family. He lies about his ex-wives. When Cody told this story, it sounds to me like he was flying by the seat of his pants. He says there was a time when he considered reconciling with Mary after the Rice Krispies anniversary date, when he told her she had to court him and he wasn't coming. He says Christine was pissed about the potential of him reconciling with Mary. Obviously, it's a lie. All the world's ills Cody wants to lay at the feet of his ex-wives, the independent women he feels threatened by, especially Christine. Mary reveals she never knew about this potential for reconciliation, and she says Cody told her he was not coming that day, so this is news to her that he ever considered reconciling with her. I really don't think Mary buys it, and I don't buy it either. We also learned that she tried to kiss Cody when the cameras weren't rolling on her anniversary date. And Cody told her he can't do this. And his body stiffened like a board and he backed up. He was incredibly uncomfortable. Cody seems to want to rewrite history, and he thinks the viewers are dumb enough to go with it, or that his exes won't be candid about their experiences. Now Cody has what he thinks he wanted. He has monogamy with Robyn, the other liar du jour, who claims Cody's wives threw him at her and said, get him out of our hair, take him, we don't want him. That's not what I recall from the show or the book. We can recall in season 1, Christine complaining that Cody spent far too much time with Robyn. He spent those long weekends away visiting Robyn and her kids when he and Robyn were courting while Christine was pregnant with Truly. Christine complained that Cody was replacing his family with Robyn and her kids. There was a lot of concern for the disparity in time and investment from Cody with Robyn and her kids and Cody and his other wives and kids from day one. I recall when the wives, Janelle and Mary included, were hurt and riding emotional roller coasters when Cody left for an almost 2-week honeymoon with Robyn in paradise. His other wives only got 2 or 3 day road trips as Cody spent almost 2 weeks away from his kids and wives when already they only got time with him 1 night out of 4, and all the other wives were thrown together last-minute road trips in the sticks for their honeymoon, as Robyn got an almost 2-week vacation in paradise, crossing things off of her bucket list. It hurt Cody's wives. It angered them. They wanted their husband around. The kids were hurt by their father's absence, especially at a time when everybody's world was upside down with the inclusion of Robyn and her kids into their family. The wives and kids complained it was a lot of time for Cody to be away. No one threw Cody to Robyn and said, "Take him, please, please, get him out of our hair." And if Robyn thinks that, she's delusional. Just as delusional as Cody, if not more. It's very insulting of her to invalidate what the other wives and kids experienced with Cody. It's disrespectful, it's condescending, and most viewers aren't going to buy what Robyn is selling. Robyn continually attempts to invalidate what the other wives and kids in the family experience with Cody. She continually gaslights, trying to suggest that what the wives and kids tell us they experience with Cody, the neglect, the emotional manipulation, the emotional abuse, the indifference, the absence of Cody, the lack of investment from him, are not the truth. That's not the actual reality. What they say they experience, those are not the facts. For Robyn, everyone misperceives things. Everyone misperceives Cody being absent because they are on bad terms with Cody, and they are wrong. They are not credible. They are the negative, delusional ones, miscounting their own experiences, and Robyn knows best. Robyn knows the truth. And the wives threw Cody at her. They didn't want him. They were happy to get him off their hands. What a crock of shit. Who believes that narrative? Does Robyn remember Christine struggling, asking why her husband has to go away for a long weekend again? Asking if Cody is replacing his family with Robyn and her kids? Does Christine in season 1 sound like a woman relieved to have Cody, the father of her kids, away? It's an insult to everyone for Robyn to attempt to rewrite history just to deflect and avoid telling the truth, that the reason for all of this abuse and manipulation and toxicity that she and Cody conduct themselves with the rest of the family is because she is the favorite wife. She always was, and Cody wanted monogamy with her. And Cody has now succeeded in pushing everyone out. Mary is gone too. He has monogamous bliss. That's what he wanted, right? To rid himself of the obstacles to his goals in life. That's what he said he wanted. So why does this man look so miserable? He looks like a wrinkle. He just looks thin in skin and bones. Even with the fake tanner, his color is off. The gray suit with the tan makes him look jaundiced. He looks deflated like a wet, mushy noodle. He got rid of his obstacles to his goals in life. He has his goal in life, monogamous bliss with Robyn. So why does Cody look more miserable than he ever has? It's amazing now that Cody's ex-wives are free. They look vibrant. They look shiny and light and full of life, just beaming with light. And Cody looks dim and dingy and resentful and angry. He just looks negative. His vibe is so heavy. And this is what he wanted, supposedly. He looks worse for the wear without his wives. And his wives look glowy and radiant, free from the toxicity. They look so light. Let's get into this one-on-one special. Robyn mentions that she thinks Suki tries really hard to do a good job of figuring out the balance of the truth between all of them, but Suki has a large task ahead of her, according to Robyn. It's interesting that the one who lies the most to deflect from the truth says Suki will have a large, tough task ahead of her in figuring out the balance of the truth between them all. as if she is the honest one and her sister wives might not be so honest. Robyn is the one who lies the most, so it's very interesting that she is concerned that Suki gets to the truth between them all. Cody sits with Suki first, and I cannot overstate that gray color does him no favors. He looks sickly, he looks washed out, and the suit doesn't even fit him properly. Suki talks to Cody about Christine first and the season premiere talk that Christine and Cody had about her divorce and move. And Cody says one thing about that conversation is Christine was completely decided and Cody was in denial. They flash back to that scene of Cody telling Christine she is the one who unraveled all of this on him. He thought all of Lehigh was a beautiful experience and a blessing, and Christine told him it wasn't. In this scene, Christine asks Cody, "Why are you insisting on holding on to me? Why?" And Christine tells Cody this isn't working, and he has acknowledged in the past that it wasn't working. Christine tells Cody he told her he was not interested in a sexual marriage with her. He told her people survive for years without an intimate marriage. And Christine asks if he expected that for her. And Cody tells her that she is blaming him for being turned off by her behavior. Christine tells Cody she tried so hard. And Cody said that Christine did everything but treat her sister wives with kindness and respect. Cody says he is not attracted to Christine because Christine is not being loyal, because he feels betrayed. Christine says Cody is saying he isn't attracted to her because she treats her sister wives terribly and she doesn't care what he is saying. She isn't being mean. Cody tells Christine it's true that they married under circumstances that were not romantic. And Christine says they were romantic for her, but they weren't romantic for him. And Cody says they can unravel this further because it's true that he was not attracted to her when they got married. Christine tells him she isn't interested in an intimate marriage with him anymore. She wants to just look at the present. And Cody says, yeah, marriage sucks. And Christine asks him, do you want to be married to me? And Cody asks her if she wants to be married to him because she is the one who has shot the first two blows here. And Christine says no, she doesn't want to be married to him. And Cody tells her he is good with that. Nobody is a prisoner here. Christine says, don't insult me. Tell me straight up. If you don't want to be married to me anymore and you don't want an intimate marriage with me, flip and tell me. She says it is cowardly. And then she says, man the fuck up. And Cody tells Christine, it's been worse for Mary. He and Christine have had way more romance than he and Mary have had in the past 5 years. Christine tells Cody she would never, ever want what he and Mary have or what she and Cody have. Nor does she want Mary to have that relationship with him. It's heartbreaking. Christine gets frustrated when Cody compares her marriage to his marriage with Mary. And she asks why Cody doesn't compare his marriage to Robyn with his marriage to her. Christine asks Cody, why would you want me to stay? And Cody answers, because I'm supposed to. And Christine tells Cody he doesn't really want her to though. And Cody apologizes and Christine says she is sorry too in this flashback scene. Cody tells Suki this scene is so 4 years of context, not just that moment for context. Cody says initially he thought Christine was playing a game, so he was ambivalent. He was trying to be stoic about it. Cody thought Christine was playing a game because Christine is a game player from the time they were married. Cody says from the time they were married, there was manipulation, pouting, temper tantrums, just behavioral things with Christine. Cody is projecting, obviously. Everything he does, he is saying Christine does to him. Playing games, treating it as a game, manipulating emotionally, throwing temper tantrums, pouting. All of these behaviors we see coming directly from Cody. And we see that Cody's actions show that. With Christine, her actions actually show the opposite of what Cody is accusing her of. We saw Cody attempt to manipulate Christine when he tried to leverage sex and intimacy for her being friendlier to Robyn. The pouting we see all the time from Cody. The self-pity, the emotional manipulation we see constantly from Cody, and the temper tantrums like the knife in the kidneys talk, and the time he yelled after Janelle, "Would you ever have any empathy for me?" And on and on. Cody treats everything like a game, us versus them. He even said, "If you aren't with me, then fuck off." So he expects everyone else to be playing at a game too, just like he does. Cody is the only one who sees this like a game. So it's interesting that everything is a game to him. Everyone is playing at this game too. He is so calculating and inauthentic. He assumes even his family would do that to him. He assumes they would play with him like he does with them. He operates that way. The rest of the family don't. To them, this is real life. This is their family. But Cody expects everyone to treat this situation like a game just the way he does. That's how twisted his perception is. It's so interesting to me that Cody, the game player of the family, the guy saying, "You're with me or fuck off," is now projecting, saying Christine is playing a game. She's a manipulator, when the only one who plays the family like a game, thinking he is playing chess when he is losing at checkers, is Cody. He lost all his wives but one, and most of his adult kids don't talk to him. So it was interesting that he used the words playing a game in reference to Christine. Suki wants more explanation from Cody. She tells Cody that playing a game is a cold thing to say. It's not something a husband would say to a wife. Of course, now Cody has to deflect to explain away the projection he just did, and he comes up with a total lie. This rewriting of history is actually about an anniversary gift Mary gave Cody. It was on the show. It was not in reference to a birthday gift like Cody initially states. And in this scene, Cody makes it clear he has no intention of reconciling with Mary. So this is a total lie to attempt to vilify Christine, because Cody knows he can't reference any game she played. So off the cuff, on the fly, he has to pull out an example of Christine playing games, a reason why we should all believe she is the bad guy. She is to blame. And Cody says it's a birthday gift that was actually an anniversary gift that we all saw, where Cody said he had no intention of being with Mary. Mary was waiting for him and he was not coming even though she was waiting for him. And now he wants to rewrite history and say it was a birthday and Mary made him the 30 or so Rice Krispie treats for 30 years of marriage. And he wants to lead us all to believe that he wanted to actually consider reconciling with Mary when Christine threw a shit fit that prevented him from doing so. Christine wasn't angry. I don't buy that. But even if she were, why would that stop Cody, the patriarch, from doing what he wanted and reconciling with his wife? It's Cody and Mary's marriage. So even if it upset Christine, which I do not believe it did, why would that prevent Cody from reconciling with Mary? What would Christine's emotions have to do with Cody reconciling with Mary? It's just a bullshit story, and it sounds out of character for Christine to be angry over that. And on top of that, even if she were uncharacteristically angry about a potential reconciliation with Mary, why would it actually stop Cody from reconciling with Mary if that were truly his intention? We know Cody does exactly what he wants. So Christine's emotions, her anger, her alleged anger at this, weren't going to stop Cody from reconciling with Mary if he wanted to, nor should Christine's emotions have stopped him. I think this is a bullshit story because Cody was speaking out of his ass and now he wants an example to hold up, and it really doesn't seem credible. Cody says some of the games that were happening were things like when they moved to Flagstaff, Cody was trying to reconcile with Mary, and Mary gave him this cool birthday present, which we now know is an anniversary gift, obviously, because we saw the scene play out. And he was in this place expressing to Janelle and Christine and Robyn that he might actually reconcile with Mary. And Christine lost her shit that day. Christine came to a family party and she left yelling to one of the kids that she was in a loveless marriage 2 years before she kicked Cody out. Suki asks why Christine reacted that way. And Cody says he was trying to reconcile with Mary, and it was because there was something wrong in the relationship between Mary and Christine. Suki tells Christine that she seemed offended when Cody compared her relationship with him to his relationship with Mary. Christine asks why he would compare her relationship to a relationship that is broken, like the one he had with Mary. She asks why Cody wouldn't compare their relationship to a relationship with Robyn. Christine doesn't know why Cody got so offended. Christine said they were fighting for so long about time and all of it, and Cody told Christine to stop comparing her relationship with Cody with others, and Christine told Cody she wasn't the one comparing, he was. I understand that the wives battled with sadness and jealousy and suffering and a lot of negative emotions over living plural marriage and over Cody's blatant favoritism. And there might be envy or competition that comes with the territory of sharing your husband with 4 women. However, Cody made it worse with his blatant favoritism, and the wives did their best not to compare until it was glaringly obvious and it affected their kids. But the wives didn't actively compare themselves to Robyn or any of the other marriages. They tried to work on things with Cody, and Cody wasn't interested in anything but a patriarchy. And Cody made things worse. He compared. He made it obvious he favors Robyn. He prefers Robyn in every way. And he also compared all of his wives to Robyn, wanting Janelle to change, to be more like Robyn, holding Robyn up as the prize, the shiny, loyal, obedient, submissive, convenient example he wanted the rest of his wives to be like. He did the comparing, and he let his other wives know there was no way to even compete with Robyn. And then he accuses them of comparing as he rubs salt in the wound. He complains it's the other wives' fault for comparing their marriages to Robyn's, but he constantly touts Robyn as the wife to be like, the wife to emulate, even going so far as to directly ask Janelle to be like Robyn to make her marriage work, to change herself to be more like the favorite wife. Cody didn't even flinch when he asked Janelle. He doesn't clock how excruciatingly demeaning that is, how insulting it is, that he warns his wives, don't compare, as he demands they become Robyn. He's very cruel and very cold. He doesn't respect and value his wives as equals. It seems to me that he views himself as above them, superior. They were chomping at the bit to be with him, to be in his family. They asked him. He had to accept them. They asked him. And now he finds it acceptable to ask them to be like Robyn. Add a dash of goblin, do the sausage curls and the Stepford wife smile. Tell him he's great, the best husband, the best father ever, the best man in the universe. Tell him that new potion he applies to his scalp seems to be working on that hairline. The patches are really filling in. The whole thing is so incredibly cruel and unfair and degrading for these women after all they have done for Cody and the family for decades. Suki mentions how Cody said Christine was the poison, and she asks if Cody was saying she was the poison or if Cody was comparing their relationship to being poison. Christine thinks Cody is saying she is the poison, not their relationship. She thinks that for Cody, he would be fine if they just had a platonic, completely not even friends relationship. That was fine for Cody. But Christine thinks that's not a marriage. Suki mentions to Mary that Christine said she doesn't want her relationship compared to Mary's. And Mary says she doesn't think it should have been brought up, and she thought it was not cool of Cody to bring her into their conversation. And Mary totally gets Christine's reaction. Like, why would you do that? Why would you compare? Mary says no husband should ever, ever, ever compare one wife to another. It probably tremendously fucks with your boundaries to be a wife married to a polygamous man who compares his wives in an effort to encourage them to change or to encourage them to modify their behavior to his liking for his convenience or to encourage them Accept your shit marriage. Mary has a marriage that's even shittier than yours and she accepts it. It's very cruel to compare wives in a system where Cody already knows the suffering the women face, all being married to him, suffering from the jealousy and the low self-worth and the envy and the insecurity, only to have it magnified by a husband who openly compares, who blatantly has a favorite wife. Imagine how that must feel for his wives, how much worse the emotional suffering with polygamy feels because they have a husband who doesn't live polygamy in the most functional way to cause them the least pain and suffering. Cody could have done things to minimize their suffering under polygamy as a husband, with doing things fairly and equally without picking a favorite wife. Cody not only picks an obvious favorite wife, he touts the favorite wife as the example the wives have to change to be like if they want a good marriage with him, just like hers. He accuses his wives of not being loyal to him, of not being as loyal as Robyn, when these women have sacrificed everything for decades for this family. Janelle as the primary breadwinner for years, Christine as the primary caregiver. They sacrificed their wants and needs in unfulfilling, unhappy marriages for years for this man and this family. This man who doesn't see their worth or their value. He seems to view his ex-wives as less than, as people to control for his convenience, as people he can so easily call his obstacles to his goals in life. These women, Mary, Christine, and Janelle, sacrificed a lot for Cody to raise the kids, to make the family work, to make ends meet. And Cody accuses them of not being as loyal as Robyn, who hasn't done anything for the family, especially when you compare it to what Mary, Christine, and Janelle have done for decades. And Cody has the nerve to suggest these women who push their wants and needs down for years for this family are not loyal, not like Robyn, just because they refuse to live being controlled, bending the knee, yesing this man to death just to please him, for his ego, for his convenience. Suki tells Christine that she thinks Cody was saying, "Why can't you just play along like Mary?" And Mary says, Christine has played along for a long time, and it was hurting her soul. She did it for as long as she could. And Suki asks Mary, "Has it not hurt your soul?" And Mary says, "Sure it has." Suki asks Cody, why isn't there an openness to talk and to help? And Cody says, because the relationships aren't good. It's that simple. See how Cody isn't willing to make an effort if things are hard or inconvenient or if they require effort from him? If he deems a relationship bad, if it's inconvenient for him, he isn't open to participating. He isn't open to communicating or investing in it. And it's never, ever his responsibility to make an effort or to fix things. It's never on him. It's on the other person to change, to be easy and convenient for him, be the way he wants them to be for him. Or he won't even pretend to play the game and participate. It's all on the wives, and they are expected to change, as Cody does nothing to change or to meet their wants and needs. Cody says the one thing everybody keeps missing is they keep comparing he and Mary, he and Robyn, he and Janelle, and he and Christine. They keep comparing all of these relationships, and every relationship grows and develops and functions, good or not, on its own merits, on whatever skill you have to communicate, or whatever loving ability, or whatever kindness, or whatever cruelty, or whatever game playing you do will affect your relationship. And you can't compare it to those other ones that don't have those same kinds of things going on, whether it's good or bad. Okay, so again, we see Cody saying he is less willing to talk or to help or to invest if the relationships aren't good, if it's inconvenient for him. When it is not good, when it's inconvenient, he is unwilling to participate as a husband or a father, unless it becomes easy and convenient, and it's on the other person in the relationship to change to become convenient and make it that way. Cody is the problem, and I get that each relationship is different, each marriage is different. Every person in a marriage or a relationship brings different things to the table, so the dynamics are different with each marriage. However, most people aren't comparing relationships expecting Mary Janelle and Christine to have a carbon copy of what Cody and Robyn have. Most people take issue not with the fact that it was bad with Mary, Christine, and Janelle and good with Robyn. It's that Robyn is the favorite wife, and there is a huge disparity there financially and in Cody's communication, time, presence, and investment with Robyn and Cody's other, now ex-wives, and their households. Because things are good with Robyn and it's convenient for Cody, he invests more. He puts in more time, communication, and effort. He participates with Robyn. He is present with Robyn. On the other hand, when the relationships aren't good with Janelle, Christine, and Mary, Cody uses the relationships being bad and the relationships being hard and the relationships being inconvenient for him as an excuse to invest less, as an excuse to neglect, as an excuse to be absent, as justification for why the basics as a father and a husband are conditional, a conditional reward for good behavior at the homes of Mary, Christine, and Janelle. However, because Robyn is convenient, she is easy for Cody, so Cody will show up as a father and a husband. He participates, and people take issue with the fact that Cody thinks it's okay to not show up, to neglect, to be absent as a father and a husband, these other places. People don't care that the relationships with Christine, Janelle, and Mary have different dynamics or they weren't as romantic as Robyn's. It's not that everyone expects the same type of romantic love or relationship as Cody has with Robyn everywhere else. But each wife expects fair and equal from Cody as far as his time and investment with each wife and her kids. That's what they signed up for. And Cody agreed to that when he signed up to have a plural family. And he never held up his end of the agreement. All of Cody's wives and kids rightfully expected to see Cody as a husband and a father put the same amount of effort and investment and time in with all of his wives and kids in the family. They expected him to make a conscious effort to do things fairly and equally across the board with each part of the family. It hurts the other wives and kids that Cody doesn't do that and that he uses the bad relationships as an excuse to be absent. This is not at all about everyone being upset that Cody has a romantic relationship with Robyn. No one expects a carbon copy of his relationship with Robyn with the other ex-wives he had. Cody is making this excuse because he wants to deflect and focus on that being the issue rather than the truth that he did not hold up his end of what he signed up for. He wasn't fair. He didn't do things fair and equally. He didn't even try to pretend to show the same level of engagement and investment with any of his other wives or kids. People take issue with the fact that Cody thinks it's acceptable to be absent and not invest in the same way he does with Robyn everywhere else, with the false justification that it's acceptable for him to neglect the other households just because the relationships are bad or the relationships aren't as easy and convenient on him. Cody's presence and investment and effort as a husband and a father is conditional. It's contingent on how convenient the wife makes it for him, how easy she is, how easily she submits. And that determines how good Cody feels the marriages are, and that determines if he will show up or not. The wives didn't sign up for that when they married him. Mary grew up in polygamy. Christine also was raised in the faith. They know things were meant to be as close to fair and equal as possible for every wife and every household. They expected that of Cody when they married him, and they agreed to create a plural family with him. Janelle tells Suki she knew Christine was unhappy, and she knew especially during COVID, there were even more wedges driven, and Christine reached the point that she knew for her own happiness and self-preservation, she needed to do something. Suki asks Robyn if she lost all the intimacy in her relationship, if she would still be okay because that's what Christine was dealing with. Robyn says the thing is she would fight to get that back. She would march Cody's butt into a therapist so fast. She would not allow Cody not to talk to her. She doesn't allow that. She says, we're going to talk and work this stuff through. It's interesting that Robyn, the obedient, submissive wife, Cody holds up as a shiny example for Janelle to morph into so he can participate in his marriage with her, is saying she would not allow Cody to not talk to her. She would demand they talk. She would march his ass into therapy. She would not allow Cody to give her the silent treatment. She would not allow it. It begs the question, who actually wears the pants in that relationship? Is Robyn really the obedient wife, or is she just good at coddling Cody's ego and influencing Cody and manipulating Cody? Is she good at letting Cody feel as though he is leading her when really she is the neck that turns the head? Who really wears the pants in that relationship? I think Robyn is submissive to keep the peace and raise her kids, but ultimately she is a master manipulator. She is probably very good at making Cody think she feels the sun shines out of his asshole and she depends on him, when really it's her behind the curtain influencing this unhinged guy, keeping him intentionally stewing in his resentment. Imagine if Janelle said something like, she would not allow Cody to do this or not do this or that. Cody would have a field day with how he is marginalized as a husband and how Janelle is this evil, independent woman who has him by the balls. We would never hear the end of Cody's self-pity about Janelle stealing his voice. Next, Suki asks Robyn, how do you force somebody to be attracted to you? And Robyn says you don't. Suki tells Robyn that Cody says he lost that attraction, that connection, that physical component. And Robyn says she thinks that his attraction is based on that person's behavior. He has a tendency, and Robyn says she has watched him do this thing where he is upset with a wife and then he struggles, and then that wife turns a new leaf or whatever it is. They talk and figure something out, and she is being supportive and kind with Cody, and then Cody just melts and he is like, they hung the moon, they're amazing, I love them to pieces. Robyn has watched Cody do it over and over and over again. So Robyn is admitting if Cody likes a wife's behavior, he will give them intimacy, he will praise them, he will love bomb them, he will reward them for being submissive. If they are convenient to him, he will find them attractive. His attraction and intimacy with his wives is conditional on if he likes their behavior. So sex is a reward for being convenient and pleasing to him and behaving as he wants. We saw him do this with Christine when he leveraged sex for Christine, modifying her behavior with Robyn to his liking. And Christine said, fuck no. Robyn says she watched Cody do this. She saw Cody fight with a wife. She saw Cody struggle with her. And then the wife and Cody talk. They negotiate. And then the wife is sweet and convenient. And it's up to the wife to change and turn a new leaf so that Cody will be attracted to them, so that Cody will participate in his marriage. And when the wife bends and submits, when she keeps sweet, when she is convenient for Cody, and she feeds his ego, and he feels he gets sufficient attention and adulation for his ego, and his wants and needs met, then and only then will Cody melt and think, that wife is amazing. He will love bomb her and sing her praises at that point because he is rewarding them for submitting to him, for being convenient for him, for keeping sweet. It's all conditional based on Cody neglecting or rewarding his wives based on how well they behave with him and how good they are at pleasing him. Notice how this is all centered around Cody and his ego and how well everyone pleases him and how well everyone meets his wants and needs, which are always his priority, and they should always also be everyone else's highest priority. It's all about how convenient his wives are for him, how much of his needs and wants they meet, what they do for him. It's one-sided and it's all conditional. It's all about Cody. It's never about him meeting the needs of his wife. It's never a partnership and it's not based on love. Robyn has watched Cody do this over and over and over. Struggle, then think the world of a wife who pleases him, then do it all over again. Because that's Cody's pattern. That's his cycle. Cody isn't prioritized by a wife if he isn't getting his wants and needs met and prioritized. He will neglect that wife. He will punish her. And it's all about Cody all the time. It's all about Cody putting his convenience and his wants and needs first. It's never about the other person and what he can do for them. It's about how they can change and how far they can bend to meet his shifting expectations. If they bend enough, suddenly they hung the moon for a minute or two. It's emotional abuse and manipulation, especially considering how this is a situation with multiple wives and one husband, where the wives depend on time, attention, and investment from their husband to feel secure in their marriage, in their self-worth, in their family, especially in a system where the wife gets a small fraction of their husband's time one-on-one. It's all about Cody and pleasing him, centered around him. It's never a partnership. It's never a true marriage. It's never about what Cody can also do to compromise and reciprocate with his wives, or what he can do to prioritize and meet their wants and needs. It seems as though Cody's wants and needs are always his priority, and he expects that they must always come ahead of everyone else's, even at times ahead of his own children. Like, for example, with Isabel's surgery, Cody could not attend. Suki gets around to discussing the attraction thing between Cody and Christine. And Christine says to hear that Cody wasn't attracted to her, it was terrible to hear. It was super embarrassing. So Christine got to thinking that it really just goes both ways. And after Cody said that, she wasn't attracted to him anymore. It was done, it was over, and it was a relief. She wasn't going to keep fighting and trying, and she won't keep doing this if Cody isn't attracted to her. Christine says, so everything she has done for him and the family means nothing to him. Christine is vocalizing here that all those years of sacrifice for the family, for all those decades, all of that pushing her own wants and needs down to sacrifice, to prioritize the family, and to do the most important job of raising the kids, of being the heart of the family and the nurturer. All of that meant nothing to Cody. All of the emotional suffering she endured to live this way and to prioritize the family meant nothing to Cody. Suki asks if the lack of attraction is an excuse just for Christine's bad behavior, or if it was the bad behavior that led to the lack of attraction. Christine doesn't know, but she says that statement just made her mad. Christine says she isn't a child. She was Cody's wife, and he doesn't get to talk to her like that. Christine says her bad behavior, that's just insulting. She says, please, she's an adult. That's just rude and belittling. She says, how dare you? She was furious when Cody mentioned her bad behavior. Suki asks Christine how she felt when Cody finally accepted it, when he finally accepted the divorce. And Christine says, finally, it's a huge weight. She says, finally, at the end of the conversation, she felt relief, like good, because it's over. She says of Cody, stop fighting for something that your ego is attached to. I am glad Christine mentioned how insulted she felt with the way Cody addressed her in such a condescending way, like a child, as less than, not like she was his wife or his equal. I also loved how she mentions Cody's ego. She knows the fighting her on the divorce was not about her or their marriage or their family. This was about Cody's ego, and we clearly see that. Just like Cody wanting Janelle to buy the house Christine used to live in was attached to the sentimental value his ego places on that home. And just like last episode when Cody says he's no coward, he didn't quit, he didn't want a divorce on his record, it's all about Cody's ego and optics and the rejection to Cody's ego. It's not actually about the destruction of his family or the loss of his marriages or losing his wives, the mothers of his kids. This is all about ego. This is all about Cody and his feelings and his wants and needs. And Cody and his feelings and his ego and his wants and needs supersede the suffering of his family, of his ex-wives, or of his kids. As Cody plays victim, as Cody plays the marginalized husband wanting a voice, as he wallows in self-pity expecting compassion back, let's remember he said his family were an obstacle to his goals in life almost 2 seasons ago. And now he has what he always wanted. He has successfully pushed his wives out. Most of his adult kids don't speak to him. So Cody has his goal in life, monogamous bliss. He escaped his obstacles. He supposedly has, with Robyn, what he always wanted. So why does Cody look more miserable than ever? Why does he emanate negativity and heaviness? Could it be that what he thought would make him happy was just a delusion, an illusion he thought he wanted? I don't know, but the guy looks worse than he has ever looked physically and mentally during this tell-all as he lives in his dream of monogamous bliss. His ex-wives look so radiant and so vibrant and so light. Freedom just looks amazing on them. I can't state that enough. They wear freedom so well. Even Mary has a glint in her eye. Seeing the radiance and the vibrance of these ladies reminded me of a comment made by Christine M., a viewer of mine, that really had me in tears. I love it so much. She said, "Everyone is leaving him, even his hair don't want to stay." That was seriously the best comment ever. I love it so much. And it really seems like leaving Cody has been a huge relief for Cody's ex-wives. They really all look so vibrant and so peaceful and so light, away from Cody's toxicity. They glow now, yet Cody seems so dim. It's really interesting how everyone's appearance improved. The only ones looking tired and heavy and toxic and sad are Cody and Robyn. Cody should be free now, singing from the hilltops like Maria in The Sound of Music. This is what he wants. He is free from the obstacles to his goals in life, living the dream, but he doesn't look free. He doesn't look well. He doesn't look happy. Sometimes the things you think you want in life, the things you dream of, the things that you assume will make you happy, end up becoming your worst nightmare, and the things you need that you don't think you want, that you dismissively cast aside, you realize were the things that would have made you the happiest. Often the things we want aren't the things we need. Cody wanted monogamy and he pushed for it and he got it. But notice how unhappy he still is, how unfulfilled he still looks, how angry he still seems, because the things he thought he wanted are not what he needed to be fulfilled. Cody cast aside what he needed in lieu of what he thought he wanted, and he has what he thought he wanted. He has what he thought would make him happy, his mansion, monogamous bliss with Robyn, but he himself looks and seems incredibly unhappy and miserable and unfulfilled, even with everything he thought that would make him happy. He destroyed his family. He destroyed almost every relationship he had to get what he wanted. He cast aside what he needed. And foolishly, he thought he would be happy. He would be free from these obstacles holding him back in life, free from his family. So now he is free. And the ones fulfilled, the ones flourishing, the ones happy and thriving in this situation are the ones he pushed out, free of him and free of his toxicity. And Cody is left still with all of his anger and resentment as everyone is moving forward in life. Cody thought plural marriage was the problem. His ex-wives were the problems. The expectations placed on the plural husband were the problem. And now when Cody has monogamy and he has convenience, he remains miserable and unfulfilled, even having obtained what he thought he wanted. At some point, Cody might have to look inward and realize he is the problem and it's always been him. Next up, Suki asks Cody if intimacy was Christine's justification, or if the lack of intimacy was justification for her just for saying this is over. Cody says the whole COVID experience justified a lot of things for a lot of people, or really brought a lot of people to reality. Cody thinks the COVID thing definitely was a catalyst, but he thinks the intimacy issue was Christine's justification. Cody says a bad marriage is a bad marriage, and everybody expects you to just go figure it out and fix the marriage. But what if the marriage just isn't fixable? So this is where Christine was ballsy enough to tell Cody, "I'm out." And Cody didn't want to be a quitter. Christine told Cody he was a coward. And Cody says, no, he is not a coward. Nothing scares him but poverty, nothing. And Cody says it aggressively. He wants it to be known. He doesn't want to protest too much. He just has to repeat that nothing scares him twice with emphasis to convince us he believes that he isn't scared of anything. He's no coward. He certainly isn't convincing us he isn't a very scared man by emphasizing that statement, especially since usually Cody's words don't jive with reality. It's his skewed perception of reality according to what deflects the blame from him and is easiest on his ego. Nothing scares Cody but poverty, nothing. Just don't let it be too cold outside for him to sit with his daughter outside. Don't let the reading lamps be too low. Don't put him in a cramped space. Don't expect him to attend his daughter's surgery out of fear of COVID. But nothing scares Cody. Nothing scares the man but poverty. That's why he lives in a home paid for by his ex-wives, as long as he doesn't have to pay for it himself and he isn't the one working to cover it. Nothing scares him but poverty. That's why he so easily took so much financially from his wives to secure the McMansion he and the goblin live in, knowing he intentionally wanted to push them out, to be free to live in monogamous bliss. He isn't a coward. He isn't in fear. He's no coward. He's an alpha male. But God forbid his wife is independent. God forbid Christine should meet a man and marry him, and that phantom man helps Christine go after Cody and his coins. The only thing Cody bows to is the almighty dollar. He is no coward. He is no quitter. The man who can't remember his son's birthday. The man who feels threatened by his sons to the point where he wanted to evict them when his wife prioritized her sons over him. The man who can't sit in the cold with Isabel. The man who can't go to her major surgery. That alpha male is fearless. He fears nothing. He's a badass. Badass. He fears nothing but poverty and a haircut. Cody still doesn't get it. Christine didn't leave just over no intimacy or because of COVID. This was years, decades of being in a loveless, sexless marriage where Cody made no effort other than to leverage sex and communication and attention and investment to try and manipulate Christine's behavior to his liking. It's not about the no intimacy or the COVID. It's years of disillusionment. It's years of disappointment. It's years of being unfulfilled and abandoned for Christine. And then it's Cody also neglecting the kids. When the kids noticed how Cody treats Christine and the disparity in his investment levels as a father between them and the royal children, it hurt the kids. Christine had enough. And it's dismissive of Cody, as usual, to reduce Christine leaving to things like COVID or no intimacy. He is missing years of suffering and years of negative experiences and years of Christine feeling her kids are neglected by their dad, as the royal kids have this man's constant attention and investment. It's Cody dismissing that he is the issue and removing all accountability from himself for years of bad behavior from him. Cody never admits it's him, that he's the problem, that it's his absence and his refusal to participate and invest as a father and a husband. Lack of sex or the COVID fiasco are side issues in comparison to Cody's inability to be present and just do the basics as a husband and a father. He still refuses to take any accountability whatsoever. Next, Suki says it feels like Cody is holding on. She asks Cody why it took him so long to accept that this is over. Cody says it didn't feel like it had to be over. He says they aren't talking about the destruction of he and Christine's intimate relationship. They're talking about the destruction of this whole family bond. And it's weird that there is just one person that can do that. Cody is trying to pin the destruction of his family on Christine leaving. Christine didn't destroy his family bond by leaving. Cody destroyed his family bond way before Christine left, again, with his own bad choices and toxic behavior. And he is still taking zero accountability, saying Christine leaving ruined the family. No, the family was ruined way before Christine left, and Christine had absolutely nothing to do with it. The family's health and functionality is dependent on Cody and his behavior and his choices. And Cody was absent with Christine and Janelle since even back in Vegas, and with Mary even before then. So if Cody wants to blame anyone for the destruction of the family, he should blame himself, his choices, and his behavior. And he should also consider that he allows Robyn to influence him too much as well. She created the us versus them mentality, and she perpetuates it 24/7 at her home. That she is rejected, that she is bullied, that her kids were bullied by the other wives and kids. And it's not accurate according to what we have seen. All I have seen is Christine making huge efforts to include Robyn's kids in her traditions. Regardless, of course, Cody took the bait. He went hard, feeling like he has to protect Robyn and defend her, only widening the divide in his family, when he could easily have shut Robyn down and led by example and built a bridge between Robyn and the family, who already accepts her, by the way. Instead, he exacerbated the issue by picking an obvious favorite wife and holding Robyn up as an example for all the wives to change to be like, to emulate, with no understanding of how hurtful and demeaning that is for his wives. It only makes the jealousy worse. It only makes the suffering worse in the polygamous dynamic. We know the professor said that the husband cannot have a blatant favorite wife for a plural family to function in a healthy way. The success of a plural family largely depends on the husband's personality, and he has to do things fairly and equally across the board with each wife and her kids. Cody did the opposite of that, and the dynamic crumbled. And it's not on Christine, it's on Cody. If Cody did his best to maintain doing things fairly and equally with Robyn's entrance into the family, if he insisted on fair and equal, and if he put his foot down with Robyn about her bullshit with being rejected and bullied by the family when that isn't the case, if he encouraged Robyn to understand how his wives and kids feel, and if he pushed her to focus on all the time she and her kids were included by the family, maybe the family would not have broken down so much. This is on Cody having different investment levels and standards of treatment for the royals and the others in his family. This is about Cody's toxic behavior and bad choices. And it's also about Cody allowing favoritism to take over and Cody allowing himself to be heavily influenced by a very manipulative woman as well. Robyn knew Cody was not having an easy time in any of his marriages but hers. She knew what Cody wanted. He wanted convenience and submission, and she gave him that, knowing she would get his ear. And rather than understand why she isn't the favorite of the family and accept that she is accepted, just not with the deference she feels entitled to, it may not be the ideal dream she pictured in her mind. It never was. And she took her entitlement, her misperceived personal rejection, as an opportunity to encourage division, to tell Cody, my kids are rejected. Your wives and kids reject me. They bully me. They this, they that. Knowing Cody would want to protect her, knowing he is already resentful of his wives, knowing it would stoke those flames of his resentment, knowing how Cody operates. So the family breaking down has nothing to do with Christine and her leaving. I think Cody is very intimidated by Christine and her strength and her independence, and he feels very, very threatened by her. And he, rather than being authentic, wants to be a coward as usual and blame Christine for all the world's evils and all that ails the Brown family when it's on Cody. Cody likes convenience, and it's convenient to blame the person highest on his shit list, Christine, when Christine has nothing to do with Cody's behavior and Cody's choices and his toxicity along with Robyn's, and how that directly led to the destruction of his family. It had zero to do with Christine and her leaving. But as usual, Cody will grasp at straws to avoid taking his own accountability. Next, Suki talks to Robyn about the divorce conversation Christine had with the adults. Suki asks Robyn if she knew at that point that there was a huge separation that was going to take place. It was a really big moment for all of them, and Suki says Robyn looked shocked and very, very upset. Robyn says she had these hopes and these dreams, and she admits they're not always realistic. As Robyn fights back her fake tears, she says she knew Christine had moved Cody's stuff out. Cody hadn't been staying there, but Robyn still had this hope that Cody and Christine were going to work it through. So Robyn was living in that hope, living in that idea. So Suki says Robyn's reaction in this clip was her living in that hope space. They play the clip of Christine announcing that she is leaving Cody. Christine says she knows her sister wives will be frustrated and mad and hurt. They'll feel betrayed, and they'll wonder, what does it mean to be a sister wife then? Is Christine still their sister wife? And Christine says the answer is no. She says how close she is with Janelle will stay like that, and how not close she is with Robyn and Mary will stay like that too. Christine feels strongly that this is the best choice for her. And Mary says, if women are not married to the same man, you aren't a sister wife anymore. Robyn asks Christine in this flashback scene if she is sure. And Christine is sure, and Robyn double checks again as if she's OCD. She asks, are you sure? And Christine says, yeah. Mary says each one of them made a commitment to each other that they would love each other, that they would respect each other and stick through it thick and thin and work these things out. In this scene, Cody says he is going to be the head of his household again if everybody is willing to conform to patriarchy again. He guesses because he is not having the family that he had thought about and designed. Cody acts as if he thinks he is a god or a prophet who manifested his family, and now, because the family isn't the way he dreamt it would be, he selfishly wants to control it to make the family conform to what he pictured he would have, rather than him adjusting his expectations. That's how delusional and egotistical this man is. That's how entitled he is. Janelle says she didn't know she signed up for a patriarchy, but that's not what they all agreed on in the very beginning. And Cody says, ironically, Janelle did sign up for patriarchy when she and Cody came to an agreement that she would come into the family. Supposedly, Janelle agreed wholeheartedly that she would run her will into his because he had to be the head of the family, and Janelle made that agreement with him. Suki asks Robyn if Christine is still her sister wife, and Robyn says in her head, Christine still is. Robyn says she has been told that Christine doesn't want a relationship with her, so it's been horrible and it's been hard for her. But Robyn doesn't know how to just have Christine not be her sister wife. She doesn't know how to process that. Suki tells Robyn that it must have hurt when Christine said she doesn't want to have a relationship with her. Again with the same bullshit. Christine never said that. Christine said the relationships will stay as they are, and she is still open to seeing Robyn at family reunions and stuff like that. Christine never said she never wants to ever see Robyn again, or she refuses to be civil to her in passing or anything like that. Christine and Robyn were never close friends. They were never close sister wives ever at any point. So the idea that Christine lives rent-free in Robyn's mind to this extent is really disturbing. Robyn seems to be doing this for sympathy. I think she wants to show, look guys, I want to be Christine's sister wife. I want to be her best friend. And look at how she rejects me. When Christine has never said that she never wanted a relationship with Robyn. And in fact, Robyn is the one who would talk shit about Christine to Cody, and Cody would then go repeat that to Janelle to try and turn Janelle against Christine. Robyn does inexcusable, immature, disrespectful shit that would make Christine not trust her at all or not want to be around her, and then Robyn sits and cries about their non-existent relationship that never really was in the first place, as if Christine really hurt her when it's the other way around. Christine wasn't born yesterday and she isn't a pushover. She isn't going to sit and braid this woman's hair like they are besties when she knows this woman talks shit on her. She's obsequious, and Christine knows Robyn also doesn't hold her best interests at heart. Robyn is mad disrespectful too, even with the kids in the family. She called Isabel, Christine's daughter, stupid for attending in-person school. Robyn constantly disparages Cody's sons all the time. She suggested Christine was a liar twice, disrespecting her in her own home. She disrespected Christine. And she also attempts to invalidate Christine being divorced, and she tries to invalidate what Christine says she experienced with Cody and what the kids experienced with Cody. Then Robyn wants to cry about Christine saying she doesn't want a relationship with her and how that hurts and how it's all about her and how it affects her. And again, Christine never said she doesn't ever want a relationship with Robyn. This is all bullshit. Imagine if Christine talked shit about Robyn to Cody. And imagine if Christine called Brianna or Aurora stupid for going to in-person class. And imagine if she called Robyn a liar twice in Robyn's McMansion. Imagine if Christine suggested that Robyn influences the kids against her. If Christine pulled any of that manipulative shit that Robyn does, would we expect Robyn to want to be Christine's best friend? Would we expect Robyn to be so desperate for Christine's friendship that her hurt feelings over this are such a major point of discussion if the tables were turned? Would Robyn put up with the same type of treatment she gives Christine? This is all bullshit and delusion. Robyn says it was hard. She struggles to keep her composure. And she says she always thought that eventually Christine would open herself up to her because when she said she was leaving, she took away a really big dream from her. She always imagined them when they were older, sitting there with their grandkids and just getting that sisterhood that they saw some of those older women in their church have. Suki asks Robyn if she feels like Christine robbed her of that, and Robyn says yes. It's amazing how selfish this woman is and how immature. Everything is about her and what Christine's divorce did to her. She is so immature, it's incredible. What about all the trauma and stress the bad marriage to Cody and the favoritism shown to Robyn did to Christine and her kids? This is Christine's divorce. It's about Christine and her kids. It's not about Robyn or Robyn's feelings. But somehow Christine leaving Cody and Christine choosing to try and find happiness and fulfillment in life, and Christine choosing to be free to find a partner to meet her wants and needs who is capable to give her what she deserves, somehow Christine living her life and moving forward has done an injustice to Robyn. It has wronged Robyn. It has robbed Robyn of the sisterhood with Christine she pictured in her mind and pasted on her vision board that she never ever had in the first place, ever with Christine. Robyn's feigned emotional displays over her life not turning out how she pictured it in her mind or how she dreamt it would be is greater to Robyn and more significant than what Christine has had to endure and what her kids have had to endure. That injustice done to Robyn supersedes everything. It's all about Robyn and how Robyn doesn't get her life to be the way she ideally pictured it in her mind. This woman needs to grow the fuck up. Not everything in life will turn out ideal just how you picture it. That's not how life works most of the time. Robyn is acting like the world ended over Christine not wanting to be that close to her. She is making this about her. It's like she has an obsession with Christine or a psychological issue where she cannot accept not being liked. If Robyn had any dignity at all, she would move forward. She just looks like a nut, like a dog with a bone who can't just be an adult and move on and suck it up. Most adults don't get the majority of what they picture in their minds, and they don't cry and fuss and fall apart over it. It is very weird to take it so personally. She either wants sympathy or she feels so guilty knowing the favoritism to her from Cody had a lot to do with the breakdown of a lot of Cody's relationships and marriages. And so she wants Christine's friendship as a way to assuage her guilty conscience because it's very weird how bothered Robyn is by this. Robyn says Christine took her dream away. She took it away, the potential for that elderly sisterhood. Robyn says she thought maybe if Cody is out of the picture for Christine and Christine finds happiness, they can find a different relationship that's something different. Suki asks, why doesn't Christine want to have a relationship with you? Suki says she doesn't get it. And Robyn says she doesn't know. Suki asks if Christine feels like Robyn in some way has sabotaged her relationship. And Robyn says, if Christine does, she is wrong. She is absolutely wrong because all Robyn has ever been is supportive of her relationship with Cody. That's all. Robyn promises us that's all she has ever done is support Christine's relationship with Cody. Robyn seems to really want to convince herself and us of that she absolutely supports Christine and Cody's relationship. Absolutely. Christine would be absolutely wrong, not just wrong, but absolutely wrong if she feels Robyn sabotaged her relationship with Cody. Robyn promises it's all she has ever done. She seems to want to try and convince us and convince herself of this. All she has ever done is support Cody and Christine. All she has ever done is be supportive. She promises Christine would be absolutely wrong if she thinks otherwise. If that were the truth, Robyn wouldn't need to say Christine is absolutely wrong or she promises us. All she ever did was support Cody and Christine's relationship. She promises us, guys. Never trust a promise from a liar. If someone promises you and uses that word to be convincing or uses the word absolutely to be convincing, that to me is a huge red flag, an alarm shouting, liar, 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 liar. If Robyn could say one thing to Christine right now, she would say she wishes that Christine would have let her in because they could have had a lot of fun together. First of all, obviously, I don't believe Robyn at all that all she ever did is support Christine's relationship with Cody. We have evidence to the contrary. We have proof that she is a liar from Liarville, at least about this. First of all, she qualifies wrong with absolutely. Christine would be absolutely wrong if she thinks Robyn did anything to sabotage her relationship with Cody. Absolutely wrong. Robyn really wants to sound convincing, adding extra conviction. She also starts blinking like crazy when she says all this. To me, it looks like Robyn is lying through her teeth. Also, notice, every time Robyn acts like she is about to cry, she says sorry for dramatic effect as her voice breaks and she scrunches up her face, but there are never tears. There are never red eyes. She just scrunches up her face and she changes her voice and says sorry. But there aren't ever any tears. There is nothing wet coming from her eyes down her cheeks. Now, we know Robyn is lying because we know Robyn talks a lot of shit on Christine, or Ari wouldn't have suggested Christine needed to have dates so awkwardly during the goodbye. And Ari also had the playing pretend in school where she had a man and her friend had a man who broke up with her and her friend got mad at Ari who still had a man. To me, all that adult talk coming out of a 5-year-old's mouth on the first day of kindergarten comes from Ari hearing her mom discuss adult topics like Christine and Cody and the family dynamics in front of Ari, a 5-year-old. Or Ari, a 5-year-old, wouldn't be talking like that. Also, Janelle reveals last episode that Robyn would go to Cody with stories about Christine. And then Cody would repeat those stories of Christine's supposed transgressions with Robyn to Janelle in an effort to try and turn Janelle against Christine. So if all Robyn did was be absolutely supportive of Cody and Christine, none of that shit would be happening. Also, we know when Christine asked Cody to no longer sleep there and she packed his shit, Robyn's advice to Cody was to cross Christine's boundaries and to ignore what Christine wanted. Robyn advised Cody to still sleep in Christine's home, even when Christine let him know she did not want him there. So Robyn's advice to Cody was for Cody to ignore Christine's sense of safety and her boundaries in her own home, suggesting that Cody ignore what Christine wants and sleep there regardless of what Christine wanted. Robyn also invalidated Christine in her own home, calling Christine a liar, saying Christine never communicates with Cody despite what Christine was recounting of her experience in her marriage with Cody. So if all Robyn did was be absolutely supportive of Christine and Cody, like she promises us, her actions would lend credence to that. And instead, her actions have a long track record of refuting that absolute support Robyn promises she gave to Christine and Cody and their relationship. When Robyn claims she doesn't know why Christine doesn't want a relationship with her, we know that's bullshit too. Robyn knows exactly why. That's why her eyes were blinking a million miles a minute when she said she didn't know why. Christine mentions how she could tell Robyn was heartbroken by the conversation because Robyn had been pushing for her and Cody to have a good marriage. Christine says she hadn't had a good relationship with all of her sister wives for a long time, for years. She hadn't had a good relationship with Mary or Robyn. Not bad, but it wasn't good either. She thought her relationship with Robyn wasn't that bad, and Mary and Christine aren't good. She thought she and Robyn were okay, though. They weren't bosom buddies or super close, but they were okay. Suki tells Christine the one thing Robyn wished Christine knew was she wanted Christine to let her in. And Christine says she thought she did. Next, Suki asks Mary if she feels like Christine left her or if Christine just left Cody and the situation. Suki asks Mary if Christine abandoned the whole family or if she abandoned Mary. And Mary says she felt that at first, and she felt betrayed by Christine. And she felt that Christine was leaving her too. Because Christine has always said she didn't just want the man, she wanted the sister wives. And Mary knows what kind of relationship she and Christine have had in the past. She says it's been a lot of fun. It hasn't been super deep. And Mary misses that. She missed that for a lot of years with Christine. Suki mentions how it seems like at one point in their relationship, Christine and Mary were really close. They had fun together. And at some point, something fractured, and there was a lot of hurt between the two of them, where they each went to their own corner and they never came back together. Mary doesn't know what the deal is, she says. Suki confronts Mary. She tells Mary she knows what she did. And Mary says she hasn't always been the perfect person or the perfect wife or the perfect sister wife. It just comes down to them not being safe with each other. Mary doesn't think it was one thing. It was over time. Suki asks if they weren't safe with each other because they didn't trust each other. And Mary says probably yeah. Suki tells Christine, to be fair, that Mary feels betrayed by her. Mary is using these strong words, and Suki wants to know why Mary thinks that way. Christine says because she ended the friendship. She ended the relationship with Mary. She ended it because it wasn't safe for her anymore, and she told Mary straight up they weren't going to be friends because she doesn't trust Mary and she isn't going to do this to herself anymore. Suki asks if when Christine closed the door, it stayed that way forever. And for Christine, yes, she and Mary tried a little bit here and there in Vegas, but Mary's treatment of her wasn't nice. She wouldn't be nice to her. She was putting Christine down a lot in public situations, especially if her family was there. She would put Christine down. And Christine says, you can put me down as much as you want, but after a while, she hits her wall and she is done. And Christine didn't feel like Mary was someone she wanted to fight for because she would be nice for a while and then she would just come out again. And Christine never knew who to expect, and it was just too stressful. Based on the book, Becoming Sister Wives, I think the fracture may have started with this incident in Lehigh where Christine felt Mary was targeting her kids specifically and being very heavy-handed with the discipline towards them. I'm not sure this is where the main fracture happened in Christine and Mary's relationship, but I have a feeling it has something to do with it. So I want to go over that passage because Christine recounts in the book that after this incident, their relationship, their friendship was never the same. Christine writes in Becoming Sister Wives, about a year before I became pregnant with Truly, I had a devastating argument with Mary. For a while, I'd been feeling that she was too tough on my kids. While I understand that all children need discipline, I often felt that she went too far when it came to my children. It seemed to me that she was taking her frustrations out on my kids in particular. As a result of this, many of them were wary of her and were afraid to cross her accidentally. I let this situation go on too long and I let my emotions well up. Instead of talking to Mary calmly and explaining what I'd observed her doing and how she might fix her behavior, I exploded. I yelled and screamed and told her to stop talking to my kids and to stop interfering in their lives. Since I'm afraid of confrontation, I always allow stuff to build up till it's too late. So instead of trying to work it out with Mary, I just shut her out. This argument shattered my world and made me realize that I have always had superficial relationships with people. I've always tried to ignore problems by putting on a brave face and keeping people at a distance. This fight made me realize that I'd never honestly opened up to Mary and Janelle, but had forged our friendships out of a need to cement the sister-wife ideal I'd envisioned. After our fight, Mary and I stayed out of each other's way. We no longer sought out each other's company to watch movies or just hang out. When circumstances brought us together, we were never openly rude or hostile. We maintained a level of cordiality, but the warmth was gone. Now, Christine doesn't specifically reference this incident in the tell-all so far, and neither does Mary. But we know the relationship soured before Vegas because they tried here and there in Vegas. But Christine ultimately didn't feel safe. She ended it. I wonder if this incident in the book is where the fracture in their relationship originated. Next, Suki tells Cody when Christine tells the wives she is leaving that Robyn looked like she was having a panic attack. Asking, "Are you sure?" Suki asks if Cody was as sure as Christine in that moment in saying she is getting a divorce and this is how it's going to be. Cody wasn't as sure, but he says he should have been because Christine was moving on. She was smiling, announcing she was leaving because she was looking forward to a future. And at that moment, Cody felt he screwed this up. He should have been more patriarchal. Cody says he realizes that's a dumb idea. But in that moment, he is going, wait a sec, ladies. Christine wouldn't be leaving and we would not have had all of these problems during COVID if he would have just been the head of his family. And yes, they all made the commitment to run their will into his. Cody says Christine asked to be in the family and Janelle asked to be in the family. And Cody told them if they want to be in his family, he needs them to run their will into his. He asked if they were okay with that because he is going to be the head of the family. He has 2 wives he has to take care of. He has a very big picture. And he asked them, will you understand that? Will you help me with it? And here Cody pants like a dog with his hand up saying, yeah, pick me, pick me. Literally, they were begging him to marry them, wanting to be a part of his family. So Cody felt, okay, they're compliant. We can make this family situation work. But in the end, it wasn't ever like that. Mary says when she married Cody, she looked at him as the head of their family, and she still absolutely does. So Suki asks Mary if she subscribes to patriarchy. And Mary says, yeah, but she is also a strong, independent woman, and she can do whatever she wants. She asks, are you going to support me in that as well? Suki asks Mary if those two fit in the same puzzle. And Mary says maybe it's looking like they aren't. You can't submit to a patriarchy and be a strong, independent woman, obviously. Janelle says, now all of a sudden, this is Cody's tune. It's, I'm going to be the head of my household, and if you don't agree with me, then you aren't going to be around me. Suki asks if it's because Cody lost complete control of his family, because he is like, what he set out to do, it's not. Janelle interrupts Suki here, and she says, she loves that it's like I set out. I tried to prove from Cody when they were all in this together, buddy. Janelle thinks Cody has been making some noise. Even last year, he said, look, plural marriage is standing in the way of his personal progress. He said that to them one time. Janelle thinks maybe Cody doesn't want to do that anymore. Maybe Cody wants it to be simpler. Maybe Cody wants it to be easier. And Suki asks, is it too much for him? Janelle doesn't know, but she says it's weird because Cody has changed his tune. Suki mentions how Janelle has always been an independent woman, and Christine is striking her independence now, and Mary has kind of been living independently. Suki points out that the only person that has really been in this relationship with Cody feels like Robyn. And Janelle says that's the way Cody wants his relationship to look, right? Suki asks, or maybe it's what Cody initially set out to do. And Janelle says it's not how they initially set it up. They were going to work together as a team to raise this family. That was really their main goal. There weren't conversations like, well, I'll be in charge. Like for decades, it wasn't a patriarchy. It wasn't Cody trying to control everyone. And now, just the last few years, it has felt like Cody wanted his life to look more like that. Suki asks, like the relationship that he has with Robyn? Janelle says, from what she sees from the outside, it looks like Robyn is willing to live that way, and that's great if that works for them. That's wonderful. Suki asks if that feels really unfair, and Janelle says, it feels like it would be nice if she had a husband who would see her perspective as much as Cody seems to see Robyn's. Suki says that's a loaded statement. And Janelle just chuckles and she says, yep, it is. So Janelle is clearing up that when she agreed to marry Cody and be a part of this family, it was never a patriarchy. And now, just in the last few years, Cody has wanted it to be a patriarchy. He wants his whole family to look like his relationship with Robyn, more or less, with everyone bending to him and him having the ultimate authority. And Janelle is also saying Cody only sees Robyn's perspective. And it would be nice if when he was her husband, he was able to see Janelle's perspective as much as he sees Robyn's. We have to remember that Cody listens when Robyn speaks. She may be subservient, she may obey him, but ultimately she has a lot of influence over Cody. She is the neck turning the head, pulling the strings behind the scenes. And Cody takes Robyn's perspective and he buys into her narrative. He defends Robyn. He fights for her. He hears her voice. When Janelle speaks, we know Cody doesn't listen. Not only does he ignore Janelle and her needs, but he gets angry and he warns Janelle he is pissed whenever she would mention needs that she had that he needed to help her meet. Cody ignored Janelle's needs, and when she had to step up and handle things, living as a virtually single woman raising Savannah, Cody not only ignored her needs and made no effort to help her, he grew angry and he ignored her and the inconvenience, and then he would complain of being the marginalized husband whose voice was not heard. Cody even tells Janelle to change to be more like Robyn, but Cody listens when Robyn speaks. When Janelle speaks, when she brought up the RV, for example, Cody pretended like he never heard of it before when we know Janelle mentioned it to Cody a million times. He just didn't hear her. I bet the second Robyn mentions something, she expects an engaged response from Cody, and she gets an engaged response. Remember, Robyn claims she would never allow Cody not to talk to her. She would never allow this. She would never allow that. If she is able to allow and forbid Cody, that indicates to me that he listens when she speaks. Janelle is really making Robyn's influence clear. She is showing the favoritism that Cody only ever takes up for Robyn and her perspective. He only sees Robyn. Janelle doesn't know where Cody is at spiritually. They haven't talked about it for a long time. Suki asks, isn't the faith one of the cornerstones to the plural marriage? And Janelle says, yeah, in theory. She thinks a relationship is all kinds of things: commitment, spirituality, compatibility. Suki says, the word divorce, it seems like there is a really big gray area around the word divorce. And Janelle says for them, because there is no legal marriage. Suki plays the clip of everyone's different definitions of divorce. Cody asks in his talk with Christine and the wives about Christine leaving, how do you really do that? He says they had a spiritual marriage. How do you break up? How do you have a spiritual divorce? And Christine says for her, they were divorced when she asked Cody not to sleep there anymore. That was a we are done. It's really honestly over. Robyn says usually their church would be the ones to say they are divorced and they have to go ask for a divorce. They have to get paperwork. They have to get approval. They have to prove that the marriage is broken. Robyn explains that technically, from her understanding, until Christine is physical with another man, Christine is not divorced. Mary says the closure that Christine is saying she gets is that she just decides she's divorced and Cody just kind of goes along with it. So Mary doesn't know. Mary says in this flashback scene that she and Cody are in this situation. They aren't legally married. She wants to work on the relationship, but Cody has basically said that he doesn't. And she asks, does that mean that we are just not married anymore? And next they play the scene of Cody saying he doesn't really consider himself married to Mary. And if she wanted to move on and marry another, she wouldn't get an argument with him. Suki asks Janelle, what does divorce look like for you? Janelle says she thinks the biggest thing is that Christine no longer embraces the faith. So it's really nebulous. Janelle says in their church, you do have to go through channels to be released, to be divorced. You don't have a legal contract, so you won't go to the judge, but you would go to the religious authorities to say you want to separate. But Christine no longer believes in that religion. Suki says Cody does still, and Janelle says, yeah, but a contract is between two people. Christine already revealed that Cody is no longer in that faith either when she said she wasn't in the faith. So whether they started the marriage spiritually or not, if they aren't in the faith, why would they even consider the notion of getting approval to be something they already feel they are? This whole debate is ridiculous. Christine was not legally married. She was only spiritually married, and she is no longer a part of that faith. So under the eyes of the law, she was always single, and she is no longer FLDS. So she doesn't need to get a spiritual divorce. She doesn't need to do the paperwork and have some old white men at some stuffy church tell her she is divorced spiritually. She is no longer that religion. She doesn't need the validation of God or those old white men in the church. She doesn't need a paper that the old white men in the church approve her divorce to be divorced and feel divorced. It was really disrespectful of Robyn to even bring up her thoughts on whether Christine is divorced or not, according to her or her church. It's up to Christine, the person in the marriage. She isn't legally married. She is done with her relationship with Cody. She is done with her spiritual marriage. Whether she goes through the church that she no longer believes in or not, whether she sleeps with another man or not, Christine is still divorced. Period. End of story. And it's her personal choice, and it's her faith, and she is no longer a part of that faith. The old men at the church, her faith, Robyn or Cody or no one has any right to invalidate how Christine feels divorced, or that Christine is divorced, or what Christine is. And she is divorced, and it's really disrespectful for Robyn to debate it. No one cares what Robyn thinks in her pea brain. And by the way, let's hope even in Robyn's conception or definition of divorce that Christine would actually be divorced. Since Robyn feels Christine wouldn't be divorced until she gets freaky with someone else, let's hope that Christine is actually divorced according to Robyn's perspective too. I hope she is divorced regardless of Robyn's delusional thoughts in her head. But let's hope this woman has a partner and that she is divorced by Robyn's terms as well. I hope Christine is very divorced by Robyn's definition and that she is very happy. Suki talks with Robyn about her saying Christine has to actually sleep with somebody else to technically be divorced. And Robyn says yes, Christine sleeping with another man technically breaks it because then it's adultery. Suki asks, but if Christine is only spiritually married to Cody, can't one person opt out of the relationship because it's a spiritual covenant and it's not a legal marriage? And Robyn says no, not according to their beliefs, because they built these marriages according to their beliefs in their heads and in their hearts. So to break them, to divorce, according to Robyn's perception, it has to be through the same system they married under. But Robyn says that's just her feeling. It goes into the afterlife and they're all bound to each other for eternity. These are their beliefs. Suki asks, so even if Christine wants to escape Cody on earth, in heaven, will they still be together? And Robyn says no, because if Christine is going to go have relations, her plan is to go find her soulmate. So that would break that bond. So if Christine has sex with another man, then all ties to Cody are completely severed, even in the afterlife. That's Robyn's understanding according to their beliefs. Since Robyn is so knowledgeable about their faith, maybe Suki should ask her about the Mark of Cain stuff and the Adam God doctrine. Maybe Suki should ask about how in their beliefs, being anything other than white is perceived as evil, and how non-whites can't attend their church, or of course they can't have leadership positions in their church either. Why isn't that mentioned? As a woman of color, why didn't Suki address that with Robyn? If Robyn is so religious and so versed in their beliefs that she truly believes Christine isn't divorced yet according to their faith until she is an adulterer, since she refuses to do the spiritual divorce for the religion that she no longer believes in, does Robyn also believe in the white supremacy aspects and the different exclusionary doctrines their faith believes in as well? I love how TLC cherry picks the aspects of the faith they will and won't discuss, conveniently avoiding anything that would be problematic. Yet they have Cody on screen crying, begging, please accept my family, while in his faith he built this plural family based on one not white is seen as being touched by evil, and they are not allowed in the church. Why isn't that discussed ever? How Cody wanted tolerance for his family, but his religion itself is incredibly exclusionary and intolerant. TLC conveniently ignores that. Suki asks Janelle about Robyn's ideas about divorce. She asks Janelle, so Robyn's saying when Christine sleeps with another man, that's when the covenant is broken. Is that when it's broken? Janelle says that would be according to the religious dogma, but she wonders, does it really apply to Christine if she doesn't believe in the faith anymore? Janelle doesn't know because she still has such a testimony for plural marriage. But she sees Christine's perspective and she says, you can't make somebody abide by the rules they no longer believe in. Suki says Christine doesn't believe in the faith, so she could basically sleep with whoever she wants. And Janelle says, yeah, Christine could have any type of relationship she wants to. Suki asks if Christine has sex with another man, if Janelle will applaud her. And Janelle says, yeah, she will ask, are you happy? Did you find somebody who can finally give you what you need and that deep fulfillment? Janelle thinks, and these are Christine's thoughts according to her, that Christine is looking for that deep connection and that deep companionship. I really appreciate how Janelle is being much more candid, and I really appreciate how supportive Janelle is of Christine. You can tell she genuinely cares for Christine's happiness in life, and you can feel the authentic, unconditional love between Janelle and Christine, and you can tell that Janelle and Christine truly have that sister wives relationship that Robyn pictures in her mind that Christine supposedly robbed her of. I can totally see Janelle and Christine, old and gray with their grandkids, still in each other's lives as close as ever, and I am here for it. I would love for TLC to really get rid of Robyn and Cody and their toxicity and have them instead focus on Christine, Janelle, and Mary and how they develop and blossom in their new lives as they heal from what they experienced. Next, Suki plays Mary the clip of Cody saying he doesn't really consider himself married to her. And if she wanted to move on and marry another, she wouldn't get an argument from him. Suki asks Mary how it makes her feel, and Mary says it doesn't make sense to her that Cody would be so frustrated with Christine and that he would be so upset that Christine just made this decision about ending their marriage without consulting him and without talking to him. She just made the decision, so it doesn't make sense to Mary that Cody would be so frustrated with Christine for making the decision to end things without communicating to him. Yet Cody did that himself with Mary, knowing how frustrated he was at Christine for doing the same thing to him. And then Cody says something like, no, I don't consider myself married to Mary, doing the exact same thing Christine did to him to her. Mary says Cody just made a decision on his own. She never heard him say anything like that to her, even since being in Flagstaff. She says Cody has led her to believe that he was trying their first anniversary they had there in Flagstaff. It was cheers to a new beginning as opposed to this last anniversary. Cody told Mary, who called him, I don't even know why you called me. And he told Mary, we aren't married. We aren't acting as married anymore. So Mary said to Cody, then if that's where they're at, don't you think that we should address this publicly? And Cody said, no, he doesn't want to address it publicly. He doesn't want that judgment on him. See how much of a coward this man is? He knows Mary gets ripped to shreds for staying, for refusing to leave him, despite his abandonment of her and his continual cruelty. And he was telling Mary, don't call here no more. We're done. Don't call for our anniversary. We aren't married. Don't pretend we are. So basically, maybe if Mary was on camera filming for that paycheck, Cody would have been happy to stage an anniversary date. But behind closed doors, he is asking Mary why she even bothers, with no regard for her heart or her feelings whatsoever. And when Cody told her we are done, we aren't acting as married, she wanted to tell people. She was getting a lot of flack for staying when this man clearly disrespected her on repeat every episode as she stood by him regardless. So she said, let's tell people, let's go public. It would take the heat off of her. And as usual, Cody put himself first. He put his own image first, his own reputation first. And although he was telling Mary, we are done, he ended it without consulting Mary, and he refused to make it known that the marriage was over publicly to take the heat off of his ex-wife. He would rather the public doesn't know, and he would rather the public doesn't know what a dick he is. He prefers his wife, ex-wife, take the heat rather than making it known that it's over and taking some of the heat off of Mary's back. That's how much he respects the mother of his kid. Enough to tell her, don't say a word, don't announce it publicly, even if it eases things for you. I don't want the negative attention. I don't want the flack. But remember, he is no coward. He didn't quit, right? He says that every episode. I'm no coward. I'm no coward. But look at his behavior. Suki asks, where does that leave Mary? Is she still married to Cody, or does she get to decide? And Mary says, Cody has already made the decision, and we all heard him say that. Mary says she would consider a reconciliation, but she doesn't think Cody is interested. Suki asks Mary if she knew about the moment in the past when Cody thought about reconciling with her, and Mary has no idea about it. Suki tells Mary that Cody mentioned the gift Mary made him that made him want to reconcile with her, and she asks Cody to share what that gift was, and it was Rice Krispie treats. Mary made a bag full of Rice Krispie treats, one for every year of their marriage, and she included even their bad years. The bad years where Cody felt they weren't really married. And Cody says the expression was sweet and the mood he was in was the right mood to try and think about reconciliation. They flash back to the scene of Cody and Mary's anniversary. And Mary tells Cody to guess how many Rice Krispie treats there are in there. And Cody says 18. And Cody is clueless. He then says, "Oh, our years of marriage." And Mary asks, "Now do you know how many are in there?" And Cody says, "Nope." He asks, "How many years have we been married?" And Cody says 31 years, and it's actually 30. Cody says it wasn't what it was. It was that he was no longer angry with her for what he had gone through in his life with her. He was willing to see the error of his ways and then to work to determine whether they were good with each other anymore. So his other 3 best friends, he expressed that to them, that he maybe wanted to reconcile. He said, "Baby, maybe Mary and I can work it out with these 3 women." And it just rattled Christine. Suki reminds Mary of the anniversary where she made the Rice Krispie treats for every year that she and Cody were married. And it was the last anniversary they had together. Suki says there was a moment there where Cody was so open to reconciling with her because he felt that that was the moment where he could put the past away and be with her. And Mary says it's interesting that Cody felt like that because that was also the same day they went out on a picnic and Cody told Mary she was supposed to be courting him. And Mary says she has been waiting for him, honestly. And Cody told her, "I'm not coming." And after that, Mary turned off her camera and she put her arms around Cody's neck and she asked him, "What would you do if I just kissed you right now?" And Cody was physically aboard. He stiffened up and he was backing up and he said he can't do that. Mary says it makes her feel good though that he was considering it, but it didn't last through the whole evening, she guesses. Mary says she would be open to it. Suki says Cody mentioned there was a family get-together and Christine found out about Cody wanting to reconcile with Mary and she balked at a reconciliation. And Christine's reaction made Cody reconsider reconciling with Mary. Mary doesn't know what Suki is talking about. Suki says Cody said Christine said she didn't want that. She couldn't deal with that. And Mary said she never knew about that moment with Cody or with Christine until Suki now just told her about it. I think Mary is showing how Cody is a liar. She mentions he refused to kiss her off camera. She mentions how he is a hypocrite doing what frustrated him about Christine, deciding to end things without her talking to him. Although in my opinion, Christine talked to Cody for decades. Cody ended things with Mary without telling her. And not only that, he refused to let her make it public because he didn't want the negativity on him. He preferred that Mary just be ripped apart publicly for longer for staying with his spineless ass. Mary makes it clear she had no clue that Cody wanted to reconcile or that Christine was pissed about it and that threw a wrench in Cody's plans. I think Mary had no clue because it never happened and she doesn't want to directly call Cody a liar, but she made it clear he is a hypocrite, treating her in the same way he claims he was hurt by Christine. And she mentions the day he claims he wanted to consider reconciling is the same day he told her he was not coming when Mary said she was waiting for him. And he also refused to kiss her. So Mary shows reasons why Cody's bullshit story about reconciling was a lie. And not for even half a second will I ever believe this bullshit story about Christine getting so upset that Cody wanted to reconcile with Mary that she threw a temper tantrum preventing Cody from reconciling. No fucking way. Next time on Sister Wives, one-on-one, part 2, Robyn says, she was at my house and she was falling apart. And then Robyn says, She doesn't want to talk bad about her. She feels bad. Now, we don't know who the her is. I'm assuming it might be Christine. Christine says, it's really absolutely frustrating and offensive right now. She says there is no way she would not support Cody and Mary having a great relationship. She would never do that. Cody says, breaking up a marriage when you are not in love is one thing, but to assuage her guilt, she has blamed me for everything. Obviously, when Cody says she has blamed me for everything, I believe he is referring to Christine, and he wants to project and say Christine is the one blaming him. When we know, first of all, everything Cody tries to pin on Christine, that is his responsibility. It's his choice to fix the things that are wrong, yet he blames them on Christine. And there are actually things that are all only his fault. And now he is attempting to do what he does to Christine, and he is trying to project and say that Christine is the one blaming him, when we all know it's Cody blaming Christine for everything wrong in his family. Cody refuses to take accountability. It's Christine's fault the family is destroyed. It's Christine's fault she created the shitstorm. It's Christine's fault plural marriage is hard. It's Christine's fault he is divorced. It's Christine's fault Cody has bad relationships with almost all of his older kids. It's Christine's fault he didn't reconcile with Mary. I wonder if Cody believes maybe Christine is the one who started the COVID pandemic on purpose to bring down he and the family. That's how evil Cody views Christine as being. That Christine is the reason for everything bad that has or will ever happen to him or to the family. She's the devil. It could not possibly be Cody and his choices that created this whole mess Cody finds himself in. Cody couldn't possibly be his own worst enemy. Cody could never possibly be the problem. It's Christine and her devilish ways, and Janelle and the evil rock music. Maybe Robyn should organize a church intervention. Robyn says she feels angry. She is angry at them all. Suki asks Janelle if she believes that Robyn is the favorite wife, and Janelle says she thinks Robyn has a lot of influence. Cody says he was so mad at her at that time that he was like, if you walk away, this is over. Suki asks Janelle, is it love? And Janelle says at this point, no, it's not. Suki asks Cody, are you separated? And Cody says yes, he and Janelle are separated. And Suki asks Cody if he wants to work on it. And Cody says he won't go to a place where he is not respected because love doesn't matter to him. Respect matters to him. Love doesn't matter to Cody. Fuck love. Only respect matters. Only obedience. Fuck his heart. Fuck his kidneys. It's his ego. The way to a man's heart is through his ego for Cody Brown. Love doesn't matter. Only respect. Only 100% obedience. 100% loyalty and 100% submission. Frankly, a person who enables you, who constantly strokes your ego, and who walks on eggshells to appease, isn't a person who actually loves you, respects you, or is loyal to you. It's just a person blowing smoke and playing a game to maintain the peace. A real relationship involves being real and authentic and being honest, even with constructive criticism. It's being honest with the other person. It's being real. It's telling them when they are wrong and why they are wrong. Because if you love a person, if you really, truly respect them, if you really are loyal to them and it's a real relationship, you will be honest about the good and the bad. You love the person. You care for them. Loyalty is honesty, even when it's constructive criticism. Loyalty isn't lies and enabling subservience and blowing smoke to keep the peace. What Cody is asking for isn't respect. It's not love. It's not loyalty. Cody wants control. Cody wants obedience. Cody wants to feel like the ultimate authority, like he has power, like he has control, because he is terrified if he isn't the leader, if there is even a hint of dissent, that he will lose everything and everyone he has left. He doesn't trust his relationships. He doesn't even trust himself. He doesn't really believe in himself as a person. So he resorts to control because he does not trust and he is stuck in ego protection mode. And the most protection he can give his ego that masks his insecurity and low self-worth, is control, to control the fuck out of everyone and everything around him, because this man fears everything and he is scared shitless of being a fraud and of being a failure. He's a coward, scared of his own shadow, and he doesn't believe in himself. If he did, he would never resort to control. He would want honesty and authenticity from all of his wives and kids, even when sometimes it's negative or it's constructive criticism. If Cody believed in himself, he wouldn't operate off of his overinflated ego that masks his low sense of self-worth. I really don't think this guy is ever going to hit rock bottom. I don't think he's ever going to change. I don't know. That does it for this episode. Please like, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts in the comments section if you like. Happy holidays, everyone. Happy New Year. I'll see you guys soon in a week for the next episode of the Sister Wives One-on-One Special Part 2. Thanks for listening. Please be safe out there. Bye.